Do 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 do.
Hey, Grim.
What's up, overgrown leech?
Fox.
Nah, you're clearly a leech.
Just take a look.
What makes Sonic a living storm?
Sorry, what?
Although, as we're able to see, Sonic is using his speed to create these tornadoes and not some sort of aerokinetic ability.
Wait, we're talking about symbolism, aren't we? Why does that matter?
Raijin and Fujin are Japanese deities of thunder and wind respectively, and together their traits invoke the essence of a storm. And
Okay,
yes,
first off, why are we comparing them to two people? And secondly, they're deities based off of a destructive force of nature. Their whole deal in mythology is environmental damnation. And yes, some good can come out of that, but still, damnation.
so that's why I believe Sonic the Hedgehog is a living storm.
No hate to the creator himself, but this just brought back all my hatred for those arguments about Sonic being lightning. Oh,
Yes,
oh my goodness.
yes. Let it absorb you. And let's make this video all about Sonic's character.
And why would I do that?
You know, because you need to tell them why Sonic's the wind. Explain his traits and all that.
Wouldn't that just be repeating what other people have said? And besides, that's ignoring a deeper symbolism within the entire franchise than actually figuring out its meaning.
What are you on about?
Let's just say the whole franchise is the wind. Keep up.
Hey, wait.
Just for this video, I will have to explain the science behind wind. So please stick with me, okay? The wind is simply air pressure. The warm air leaves the surface of the earth and rises up, leading to the cold air, diving right back down to fill in the gaps, like a vacuum. And this is what wind is. It's simply like water trying to flood back in to balance out the entire lake, per se. And yes, this is how I think of the entire Sonic franchise, structurally, metaphorically, and narratively. So tell me, Sonic fans, can you think of anything more than just the characters saying so?
From this day forth, you shall be Sir Sonic, Knight of the Wind.
Okay, honestly, pretty good evidence.
I know, right? The writers are up and telling us that he's the wind.
But it's still missing the big picture.
Bigger than them just saying so.
Yep. And the best place to start is to talk about the classic Sonic games and their functionality. Zach explains the game mechanics perfectly here.
Slope physics were at the helm of classic Sonic gameplay, as I'm sure you're all aware. This one fundamental of those games nearly dictates how a lot of levels are played. There's so many variables to your movement because of the existence of slope physics, and it changes how the game is played on a moment-to-moment basis, leading to thoughtful gameplay, where you must be not aware of only Sonic himself, but the ground he runs on. Now,
And with that basic understanding, let's take a step back. The design philosophy is movement must be earned, maintained, and expressed. Speed is built through terrain. The levels are curved, layered, and organic. There's multiple pathways, which means that we are reaching natural flow, not forced choice. And losing momentum is just losing identity. Now, ain't that how you would describe the wind? The wind is shaped by the world it moves through. It curves, bends, flows along natural paths, never forced, never fixed. It doesn't choose a single route, it finds one. And when it stops moving, it stops being the wind at all. And how do I know that this design is on purpose? Well, I see it within the boost formula too.
The real danger here is leaving the rhythm, but otherwise, every track element keeps shuffling you forward, except for one, and we're gonna talk about that.
Sonic the Hedgehog is literally designed to be like the wind mechanically, keeping a flow and pace throughout. including the branching pathways.
Well, it's clear that you aren't going into detail about this, so let's move on to the part where you talk about lighting.
Nope.
Please, come on.
Sorry, but I'm not dumb enough to feed a negativity demon, man. Let's move on to narrative stuff. Do you remember 3 minutes ago when I was talking about how wind even works? And what exactly wind is? Well, I believe full-heartedly that's the core of every Sonic story. Obviously, we're gonna start with Sonic 1. It's minimal on story, but what's there is extremely intentional. Dr. Eggman is taking living things, animals, and converting them into machines to power his systems. This is more than just evil scientist behavior. It's the imposition of order over nature, turning something free and alive into something contained and functional. Sonic's role in this is almost anti-narrative. He doesn't arrive with a mission briefing or a emotional conflict or personal stakes. He simply moves through the world, breaking every system he encounters. The act of freeing animals isn't framed as a grand moral journey. It's a byproduct of his movement. As he runs and control collapses, as he passes through the world, it returns to a more natural state. He doesn't rebuild anything afterward, because that would imply ownership or responsibility. This is the wind in its purest storytelling form. A force that restores freedom of movement without replacing it in an other structure. Sonic doesn't create a new order, he removes the one that shouldn't exist. Once that's done, he leaves. The story ends not with resolution, but with absence, which reinforces the idea that Sonic was never meant to stay, only to pass through and undo what tried to hold the world still.
So, what does this even have to do with the wind? All you're describing is the game story and how it functions. You're connecting dots that might as well be non-existent.
And what is wind again? It's a pressure shift in air. In the real world, wind plays a critical role in breaking up stagnation. It depresses heat, moves seeds, and carries pollen, and prevents ecosystems from becoming suffocatingly still. Without wind, environments become trapped, unable to circulate energy or sustain life properly. Wind doesn't really build ecosystems, though. It keeps them alive by preventing them from locking in place. That's exactly what Sonic is doing against Dr. Eggman. Eggman's machinery represents a closed system. Energy is contained, animals are repurposed, and nature is forced into rigid functions. Sonic is moving through these zones is like wind, cutting through a sealed environment. He breaks containers, releases what's trapped, and allows natural flow to return. Importantly, wind doesn't stay behind to maintain balance. It doesn't manage ecosystems. It passes through, does its work, and move on. Sonic mirrors this perfectly. Once the ecosystem is broken and freedom is restored, he leaves. Just like in nature, balance isn't enforced. It's allowed to resume once stagnation is removed. Sorry.
Okay. I guess I see some parallels in Sonic 1, but maybe not the whole franchise. Like, how about the games where Sonic ups and dies?
How about we do a few more examples on this wind symbolism? In Sonic 06, the story is heavily centered on inevitability. The world revolves around the looming existence of Solaris and Iblis, and characters are defined by how they respond to that inevitability. Silver the Hedgehog is driven by the ruined future, constantly trying to correct the past. Shadow the Hedgehog confirms a future where he is destined to be sealed away. Everyone is reacting to something that feels already decided. Sonic stands completely outside of that framework. He doesn't operate based on philosophy or long-term consequences. He acts in the present, without being anchored by what should happen. This doesn't make him careless, it makes him unbound. Where other characters hesitate, calculate, or struggle under the weight of fate, Sonic simply moves forward. His decisions aren't dictated by destiny or some kind of fate, which makes him unpredictable within a story built on inevitability. Princess Elise's arc ties directly into this. She is told to suppress her feelings to prevent disaster, to remain controlled and still. But Sonic's presence challenges that idea. He represents living fully in the moment, even if it risks change. The wind, in this sense, doesn't follow a set path or obey a future. It exists in the motion, regardless of what's supposed to happen. And in doing so, it breaks the illusion that anything was ever truly fixed. And in the real world, wind is notoriously difficult to predict with precision. Weather systems try to model it, forecast it, prepare for it, but wind remains inherently unfixed and responsive to the present moment. It shifts based on countless variables, refusing to follow a perfectly determined path. That unpredictably is what makes it both powerful and uncontrollable. Now, this third and final story should be pretty obvious, I'm guessing. We all know the storybook game. Bring it up for Sonic and the Sacred Rings. The world of Secret Rings is built on control. Razor Jin doesn't want power, he wants authorship. He decides what parts of the story deserve to exist and what gets erased. That extends directly to Shara, who is spawned to him through obligation and fear. Her role isn't just assistant. She's someone who has been conditioned to obey, even when she knows what he's doing is wrong. Shara's conflict isn't about saving the world, it's about breaking away from something that defines and controls her. She hesitates, makes excuses, and tries to navigate around Razor Jin, rather than confront him directly. That's what makes it feel like a toxic relationship. The power imbalance, the guilt, the fear of directly. She isn't free, even though she technically has the ability to act. This is where Sonic the Hedgehog as the Wind becomes critical. Not as a survivor, but as a disruption. Sonic doesn't understand or accept her submission. He challenges it casually, almost instinctively, because to him, being controlled simply doesn't make sense. That contrast matters. Sonic isn't teaching her, step by step, how to leave. He's showing her what it looks like to exist without being owned. And in the real world, when air is trapped in an enclosed system, it becomes stale, controlled, and predictable. But if you introduced the wind, and suddenly pressure shifts, circulation begins, and stagnation breaks. The Arabian Nights world functions like that sealed system. Razor Jin maintains control over both the story and Shara, keeping everything contained and obedient. Sonic's arrival is like opening that system. He doesn't just fight Razor, he introduces circulation. Shara's arc mirrors something very real. When fresh air enters a confined space, it allows movement again. Her leaving isn't forced, it becomes possible. That's what wind does in reality. It doesn't push everything directly, but it creates the conditions where movement can happen again. And with that, can you really tell me that the entire franchise ain't just the wind? Symbolically, narratively, all that. Like, okay, I do admit I am struggling with, like, placing everything, like, after Sonic and Black Knight. Like, Sonic Colors and onward, I'm struggling a lot with placing it within the wind area. Which makes me question a few things. And if you guys want me to actually break down some of these games and talk about how the wind aspects affect them mechanically and all that, I will do that. Like, I already got quite a few games figured out. Like, Sonic Adventure 1, Sonic Adventure 2, Heroes, O's Battle, Sonic the Fighters, there's Rush, Sonic Unleashed especially. And of course Sonic and Black Knight. Now let me ask you something. What is the one uniting factor in every single Sonic game's story?
Hedgehogs.
Well, yes, but...
Oh yeah, probably robots.
Well, that's not quite for every
Ooh,
story.
and springs.
Okay, that's enough.